The printing of Wan Shitong gives you a built-in win condition in your food chain combo. Welcome back, Vintage Gamers. We brewed this up last night playing the challenge. This is Wan Shitong Food Chain. There was a list in Eternal Week in Japan that did very well with Deathrite Shamans and Wastelands and stuff. And I thought that was a really cool application of Wan Shitong and Food Chain. And I decided to build one myself, definitely taking a different approach. Here, we're going to go for that classic Mana Drain Wan Shitong style, but also add in the classic Food Chain Mist Hollow-Griffin combo. I think they actually play pretty well together because you just don't really, go for the Food Chain stuff until you have that kind of advantage by playing this flash control style. We're playing, Mana Drains, Spell Pierces, Snapcaster, Wan Shitong, Tamiyo making clues that we can crack on the opponent's turn. So hopefully we can play that kind of controlling role and then untap and, Splinter Twin combo our opponent, basically. Tried to make this deck as lean as possible, being only blue-green, so we get some actual access to things like Odawara and Boseiju, multiple islands, which I like a lot. And then blue-green doesn't have removal, but Unable to Scream has been a really big innovation inside of Lurrus Doomsday, and I'm going to try this card in a lot of different places, including Lurrus Pio. It's been a very efficient removal spell, and I want to basically try it out everywhere. Yeah, we have Brazen Borrower and Endurance because these cards are all creatures that can be used to start our food chain combo. And then players might ask, what is our food chain comboing into? And the answer is just Time Walk. We can make a very large Wan Shitong drawing through our deck and then Time Walk. I think that should be good enough, not having to play things like Thassa's Oracle or Walking Ballista or Emrakul. It's a big upside in these kind of combo decks. That being said, you can obviously build this deck in many different ways. Not me put together a list that had Thassa's Oracle and Demonic Consultation. So like you were playing black for that tutor aspect, so it didn't hurt as much to play Oracle because then you got to play Consult. Here we're going super, super lean and just playing like mono blue control almost. That being said, this could go very poorly, to be honest. I have played 0 games with it. We have actually many food chain videos on the channel, like maybe more than 3 or 4 food chain videos over the last 7 years. And they all take different approaches to how to build the deck. So we'll see how it goes. We might just not have enough of the right cards and the right matchups, but hopefully it'll be an enjoyable and we'll learn something along the way. I'll see you for round 1 of this Vintage Challenge. Looking to play some paper Vintage? The next full proxy ELD Vintage opening is happening in Bellingham, Mass on February 1st. I'll see you there. Okay, here we go. Round 1 up against Eternal Weekend Europe top 8er, the Deck 84 on Lurrus Breach. Let's battle. Not too worried about the top land here, considering Lurrus Breach doesn't play very many spells in the first couple turns. Pretty interested in jamming a Tamiyo on turn 1, especially now that I have a 3rd Tamiyo. Didn't really ask for a 3rd Tamiyo. One of the cool parts about this is my opponent's entire game plan is based on Mana Drain. So if I sneak a Tamiyo in now, I don't have to cast another spell for the rest of the game, and my opponent has to hold open Mana Drain the whole time, and then they lose. But they forced it, which is great, because they 2-for-1 themselves, and now we have a Tamiyo next turn. If we don't... I probably won't play a Tamiyo directly... Oh, they didn't have another land either. Okay. Well, now I'll definitely play a Tamiyo. I was going to say, I might not play a Tamiyo if I don't have access to a Pierce, but... If my opponent forced the first Tamiyo, it's got to be good. I don't think we want Wan. I think we just want lands. Could be wrong, though. But yeah, my opponent's deck does not have any mana right now, and it makes a bunch of its mana using mana drain. So I don't know, kind of a classic breach outing for me. Stock up. Can't do anything about that. We're just gonna pass. Hold open mana drain and clue token. I'd love to get a force here just so we have extra free backup. But... All right, so Lorien Reveal. He's gonna get him on island, so they'll have drain up. That's good. Vexing Bauble. Don't think I care about that one very much. All right. This Tamio should do a lot of work here in our pseudo legacy matchup. Oh, Saga's a really good one. It doesn't mean it means nothing gets put on the stack. We don't have like clean answers to it. So I'm definitely not happy to see that one. Also, need to keep hitting my land drops here. Green, colorless. Blue, dress down. So I think I'm gonna drain this and then use the drain mana to cast stock up. Especially because I'm gonna overdraw here, so. Ah, okay. So I can still drain this if I want. But it would mean I'm tapped out on their turn, which I'm not thrilled about that idea. If I drain this, I could use the drain to just crack a clue, but I don't have the ability to draw into force anyways. So, not thrilled. I don't really feel like I can die on their turn, but I also don't really want to... Don't really want to tap out. The problem is if I don't... I should probably just fetch now so I don't get caught on mana. The problem is if I don't do anything, they just Saga tokens, and could be annoying. Maybe I'm just supposed to do that drain. I have to make some progress here because of Saga. If there wasn't Saga, I don't have to make progress, and it doesn't nothing actually matters. But because of Saga, I do need to do something. So technically, can I go up the chain with this food chain? So if I play food chain, I can sack my my Tamio for a snapcaster. Snapcaster for 3 mana. Tamio for 2 mana. Well, I can just sack this, play a snapcaster, sack the snapcaster, play a Mist Hollow Griffin, and then make infinite mana, but I don't have a Wanchitong in my hand. It's probably not very good. Probably just want to cast a stock up. My opponent spends time making constructs. It's not even that big a deal. They're not going to kill me that fast. And then if my opponent like taps out for a Force of Will, then that's quite good for me, right? They have mana drain. I guess that's bad for me. I guess that's really bad for me. I kind of didn't think they could make a construct and do this. So now I'm kind of forced into just letting this happen, and then I guess my opponent can go Lurrus Dress Down Loop now as well, but then they'll lose their constructs. Yeah, I'm not really thrilled with that. But it did get a drain out of my opponent's hand, so my opponent only has 2 cards in hand, and I have a drain. So if I drain like whatever they try to play off of this, and then untap and go for a food chain combo, I do have like Snap, Stock Up at least. Yeah, I don't like that because I don't want to tap out when they're getting a Black Lotus, right? Because they can just go for a tutor combo and win. You would lose the game. Though I'm still in a pretty bad spot because if my opponent just goes for like Breach or something, then they can get it back with Lurrus later. So this is kind of the last turn of the game regardless. Unless they just went for a counterspell maybe. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. I don't think there's any harm here in just cracking this. If they like play a gifts, I don't know if I care very much. Oh, Ancestral. Sure. I guess that's pretty bad. I think I played this game pretty poorly. There's my wand, so... The problem is I don't have backup because I just don't have enough mana, right? I played this game really, really poorly. I feel like there's no way I should ever lose this game from the spot. I mean, the Urza Saga really, really, really fucked up my game plan. I think the way I was playing was perfectly acceptable, but once the Urza Saga happened, I felt very incentivized to move, and the way I moved was so bad. Because I'm just super stuck on mana here. And I don't really have a way forward if my opponent drew a counterspell off that Ancestral. I don't see a combo with Drain Backup, but maybe I'm wrong here. Let's see. 3 mana is Food Chain, but I don't have a way to get all the way up the chain, right? Or am I wrong? Let's see. 1, 2, 3 is Food Chain is 2 mana. Snapcaster is 3 mana. Tameo is I was not counting the Tameo as +1 mana. Okay, so I guess we just have to go for it. I think I could have done this last turn then, and I should have done it last turn then. I guess I probably should attack first. Yeah, now I can get misstepped, I guess. I think I had it last turn then. I must have just miscounted with the Tameo not being +1 mana. I thought the Tameo was like neutral for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, I had no Wan Chitong last turn. Okay, so the food chain just resolves. Okay. Sorry, I did just wake up, so I am trying to figure out exactly how to proceed forward here. I guess I'll target mana drain, right? Is there any reason not to? All right, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of clicking though, so I gotta better get going here. Is there any way to make this auto pay? There's no way, right? If I recall correctly. Put this right over here. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do this a lot, so bear with me here. Because this Wan Chitong has to draw a Time Walk. So I kind of have to... Like, it has to draw Time Walk, and it has to draw Black Lotus, right? Oh, wait, I can't Black Lotus. So I need to make an army of creatures, then. Because I can't Black Lotus because there's a Vexing Bauble. But I can cast Time Walk. I just can't cast Drain and Time Walk. So I guess I have to... I mean, if I make an army of creatures... probably going to be good enough anyways. I don't know. So I guess I should maybe have targeted stock up. I don't know. There's no way to auto pay this from what I can tell. But if anyone knows of a way, let me know. If you're on YouTube, you can skip ahead. If you're on Twitch chat, you can't. So is there like a number on Wan Shitong that I would be happy about stopping at? Well, I have to click it, so I think this is better. W. No, I just made white mana for some reason. Now I have white mana. I'd figure if it was all the same color, it would just auto spend, but I guess it doesn't. $80? Well, 80 sounds really bad. I did sign up for this myself here, so. I mean, if it's a creature, it should auto spend, right? I guess. Maybe I should get a auto clicker. Is that against TOS? It's probably against TOS. Get the auto clicker going again. I assume an auto clicker is against TOS. Oh, you're thinking if I tapped out of my mana? But then that's kind of bad. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to win multiple games in this tournament. So people said, well, I don't want to, I can't cast Time Walk the same turn because of Black Lotus, so I might not have to go all the way here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there wasn't a Vexing Bauble in play, I would go for Black Lotus and Time Walk and win. But with a Vexing Bauble in play, I can't do that anyways. So I might just go for like a 40. I mean, I could tell my opponent, but the problem is like Wan Shitong doesn't guarantee I have a win right now. If I had a guaranteed win, I would try to explain to my opponent that I have a guaranteed win. But because I don't really like the idea. I'm also still ahead on clock, so. I think I'm going to go for like a 40. Well, Time Walk doesn't even win, chat, because it's not protected either. No Oracle in our deck. I decided to try to not play any win conditions if I could help it. I mean, it could have a counter spell that specifically works on certain things. Like, there's a lot of possibilities here. I mean, Oracle and Ballista are just as bad at clicking. Like, they're not. How does an Oracle or a Ballista help me, chat? It's the same exact thing. What are y'all on about? Like, how does having an Oracle or a Ballista actually help me here? I still have to draw through my whole deck. Orcish Bowmaster here. That'd be a pretty good one in response. Oh, I'll draw 20. Storm count 52, by the way. This Vexing Bauble is actually so annoying, by the way. Because it'd be really easy if there was no Vexing Bauble. But also, my opponent could just have counter magic still. All right, Wan Shi Tong, draw 20. All right, so I could Brazen Borrow. I didn't draw the Time Walk, for what it's worth. Did not draw the Time Walk. But again, if I draw another Wan Shi Tong, I can keep going. So I do have a chain. I have a Brazen Borrower in my deck. So like drawing a half the deck with Wan Shi Tong is actually not that big a deal. Also, now we have Endurance to help us beat Breach. So I actually think this is fine. I think I'm going to Wan Shi Tong for some more, though. What's the best thing to do? Is the best thing to do... So if I had an extra mana, I could uncounterably Otawara. But I don't have an extra mana. I can't use Petty Theft with the creature mana, I assume. But I also can't die to creatures now, so... I should be careful not to sack my Wan Shi Tong here. So I can always cast Endurance, right? So the thing is, like, I have a mana drain. So if I pass the turn with a mana drain, isn't that better? I didn't put any 1-mana removal, right, chat? Oh, wait. I have a land drop. So I can just cast Otawara. Oh, okay. I don't have a Lotus yet, though. I forgot. I have the... I did actually think about the cost reduction. I do have the cost reduction. So I actually have this. Yeah. I don't have the Lotus yet, though. So I want to draw, like, another 10 cards or something. No. I have a Wan Shi Tong as a legendary. Oh, you mean I can play a Tameo because it would reduce it by another one? I'm not sure I've ever done that before. I'm going to do another Wan Shi Tong here. Just gotta make sure I keep the good Wan Shi Tong. That's Lotus and Misstep and Time Walk. Okay, cool. So now I just go for Otawara on your Vexing Bauble. And now I have like 8 forces. Whoa, this was sick. It just took me 10 minutes. I'm tapped out now, though, so they could do something. I don't know what they can do, but... They're going to cast Gifts in response. Are they going to Pyroblast my Wan Shi Tong while I'm tapped out or something? I mean, I have 4 forces, so the minute the Vexing Bauble goes away, the game ends. I should be able to win. Like, if they Pyroblast, like, if somehow they have Pyroblast and they Pyroblast this Wan Shi Tong, I should be able to win with the other creatures, right? I hope so. That was like my biggest problem with tapping out, is that my opponent has free reign to do something. This was a weird game. Make sure I get a picture with the storm count, chat. All right, so I'm gonna put Pyroblast and Chain into the yard and give them Mindbreak Trap and Force of Will. Put 2 cards into the yard. Pyroblast, Chain. You can have Mindbreak Trap, Force of Will. Oh, I get to draw a card. All right. But I have so many forces that doesn't matter, right? So. I have Drain, Spell Pierce, like... I actually have infinite counter spells. All right. Not bad. It only took 15 minutes to combo. All right. What are we bringing in? Are we bringing in anything? We're kind of pre-boarded. Was it worth it, chat? Was it worth it? I mean, it was a smaller than it had to be. I could have made it bigger. So I could bring in Leyline is what I can bring in. I can bring in Oof, theoretically, is actually maybe not bad. Unable to Scream is bad. I'm pretty pre-boarded for this matchup. I'm basically all counter spells. So maybe Oof for Unable to Scream. I don't actually want to like lose any lands because I want to hit all my land drops. I could theoretically get rid of Mana Crypt here. It could be a little loose. But everything else is good, right? Having an Endurance is good. Maybe you don't need Brazen Borrower. Maybe I'll have 2 Oofs instead of Brazen Borrower and Unable to Scream. Seems reasonable. All right, I have to win in 11 minutes here, so I'm going to have to play really fast. Also, I need to play better than I played last round. I think I played very, very poorly in that game. I have a video for that, Finn, if you want to check out. It should be the pinned video on my YouTube channel. I think I'm going to go for the Ancestral before my opponent gets to Drain and Pyro. Obviously, it can get countered by Flusterstorm and stuff again, but got forced. Pitching Time Walk. Okay. Yeah, it should be titled Everything About Vintage 2025 or something. Tolarian Academy. I mean, I'm pretty dead in this game if I don't draw lands. I think I have to play this Tameo. If it gets strained, it gets strained. Tameo was quite good in the last game. I need to hit land drops, though. That's why I didn't cut any land drops. Now they have 1,000,000 mana, so I'm pretty dead to like anything. My opponent had just a nice Tolarian Academy Mox draw here. Chain, sure. All right, hit a land drop. All right, now I'm definitely not casting Tameo again until I have a 3rd mana. I will end step a Wan Shi Tong though. I think I can beat a Resolve Gifts. Maybe I'll go End of Combat so that if they drain, they only get 1 mana now, 2 mana now. I actually don't know if that mana matters that much. I think I'll just go end step. Gifts in response. It's fine. I'm hoping I draw Force, so I have Drain Force after this, but we'll see. I can play like a small ball tempo plan and try to win that way without comboing, but I do have combo in my hand. I really want to find Force, though, or at least another land, so I can have, like, some options here. Drain Demonic Scroll Stock Up. I don't think... I think I just give... Scroll Stock Up. Probably just Scroll Stock Up. Scroll also triggers Wan Shi Tong. Demonic is a little too dicey, I think. Land is probably good. Another Wan Shi Tong. I probably have to hold up and drain. I really just a little tight on resources here. I also am not confident that I'm going to be able to win in enough time. I think scroll is fine. Gives me a draw. If they go for Ancestral on my upkeep and don't cast Stock Up, I think that's fine. I guess now they can cast Stock Up and Ancestral in response. Or I guess they could get Force. They got a Drain. I see. I also did not draw a Force. Alright. So they are going to Ancestral with Drain back up. I'm just going to play a Tameo and pray. I think we're dead. Unfortunately, I think we just did not hit the right cards selection here. We probably needed one Force during this time. They're just going to do nothing again. That makes me wish I hadn't played the Tameo. Is it another Gifts? Oh, this is the stock up with the Drain mana. Yeah, I mean, I need to just cast this. They don't get the Drain mana till next turn, so hopefully we can put something together before then. We'll see. I have Snap Ancestral, Flip Tameo, but I'm still super short on mana. I could just go for the combo, right? I can just go food for food chain. 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. Like, I can go for the kill if my opponent doesn't have a Drain or a Force off of this. But they still have Ancestral. They can't have Time Walk because they pitched Time Walk, so... I feel like I have to go for it. What is my other option? Snap Ancestral. I'm just like so far behind. I feel like it's the last shot I have. Just hope they don't have a Force. Oh my god, it just resolves. I guess they could just Force. The problem here is, like, if my opponent does have something and I don't go through the whole combo and I'd lose, it's really bad for me, right? I guess I don't have to go through the whole combo and lose because I can cast this Wan Shi Tong because I have a second Wan Shi Tong, so... I don't have to go for a full thing. I think it's better use spending my time just doing the combo than trying to make my opponent concede. Someone should read the TOS and confirm that an auto clicker is against TOS. Because I could definitely make this auto click. They could have Pyroblast at the end of all this, in which case I still have second wand, but do I have the time to win with second wand? That's a big question. My opponent still has Ancestral Recall as well. So I really am kind of confused. Like, my opponent has to have a Pyroblast, or why would you not cast Ancestral in response to Food Chain? So what is a number here that I can... Maybe I'll go for 20 cards and see if I can get a counterspell off of that. Which means I need 40-something mana. Ah, fuck. It's kind of funny that Mindbreak Trap doesn't work on the Mistborn Griffin, but it will work on my other spell. Yeah, if this auto-spend, I don't think it would be that bad. But the fact that it doesn't auto-spend is pretty bad. I'm going to have to ice my wrist after this. I can't even auto-spend this? I may have signed up for the worst idea of all time. Oh, just resolved. He's just got nothing. All right. I don't have a time log yet, though. My opponent has an Ancestral Recall. I think he's trying to help. I guess he didn't want to cast Ancestral Recall. I'm just gonna cast another wand for a little bit, and then maybe I'll cast a stock up or something. All I need is a time walk, so I don't actually have a force in all of that. Where'd my... There it is. Oh, they don't have Ancestral? Oh, right. They didn't get Ancestral. They got Mana Drain. I forgot. I have another wand, so I just have to find this thing in time. I have 16 cards. I have a Time Walk still, right? There's no way I can play 3 games of this deck. No, well, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been the case if I hadn't used stock up, but I got greedy. Oh, no, we do have endurance. You're right. But we'll die to time, so. I might just not have enough time in general here. Do I have another Mox? I do have another Mox. So I could theoretically stock up if I hit my Mox. Or even if I don't hit my Mox. How much is this? It's gotta be enough, right? How do I have no Force of Wills? That's crazy. There it is. All right. Nah, Luca's probably having a beer and laughing his ass off is probably what's happening. Oh my god, this was a horrible idea. Can't believe we won that game. Getting my opponent to drain whatever I got what did my opponent drain? My opponent drained something and it won us the game because then they didn't have a counterspell for our stuff and we just easily won right after that. Wow. I don't think we can play 3 games of this deck though. I don't know that I can play 3 full games of this. All right, we're gonna try to play fast. This is round 2. That's a keep. We actually have turn 1 Ancestral with backup. I'm just gonna go for... I think we're going for a Tropical to bait Wasteland. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. It's a lot of permission. Now I kind of wish I hadn't baited Wasteland. This could be mono white. I think I'm just going to negate this. I guess I'll spell pierce. I don't know if I want to spell pierce this. I think I want to negate this. I don't know if it's mono white, but I'm just gonna take an educated risk here. And hopefully, all right. Yeah, it's mono white. Void Mirror. I'm just gonna spell pierce Void Mirror. I don't have to spell pierce Void Mirror. Do I want forces? I guess I just don't have to spell pierce Void Mirror. But what else am I gonna spell pierce? Does it help me? It doesn't really help me. I think this is just fine. Drain? Okay. It's got to be nuts here. Looks like I caverned. I got caverned. I guess it's still kind of nuts. Probably just play it for the +3 mana. Probably just supposed to play it for the +3 mana for this stock up. They're playing nice and fast. There's a food chain and a griffin. No payoff, and I don't have any way to find a payoff. So I might just want to take another drain in a food chain. They named Cavern Orc for some reason and not Cavern Cleric. I think I'm just going to take Food Chain Griffin. And then I'm just going to play a Griffin right now. Also, this gets me the island next turn. Got wastelanded. Do they have a follow-up creature? No. Okay. No payoff. I think I just make it unable to scream, so I take... I guess less damage doesn't actually help me here. I might actually be in trouble. I mean, I can just infinite block it, but it's not that good. Not sure. I have to have enough mana to infinite block it as well. Not like I can Lost Well either. I guess I can block and not lose it. If I don't lose it, then I can Lost Well here, looking for a Wan Shi Tong. Oh, I guess there is a Void Mirror, but I can Besage you the Void Mirror. If I found a creature. Oh, ripped the land and played a Witch Enchanter. That is unbelievable. What do I even do now? I feel like I need to go down the Lost Well, but blocking is so bad. This was something I was worried about, but they didn't have a land drop last turn. I guess they had Wasteland last turn. Man, that's a huge blowout. I wish I guess I could have Spell Pierced this Emerald, but it was like super greedy to Spell Pierce the Emerald. Damn. I think we're gonna die. Unfortunately, yeah, letting them go. I mean, I think I just have to take the hit. And then I go to 2. I think we're just dead. I think that was like the worst possible outcome there. Probe. Great. They have another Witch Enchanter and a Clarion Conqueror. I can make this thing a 3/3 and then I die. I can live one more turn. I guess. I guess I can live for one more turn. I'm not sure like what I'm trying to hit if I do that though. Did I play this game badly? Or was it just unlucky? I mean, I could have. I guess if I had gone unable to scream, they would have. Oh, they could just Witch Enchanter the unable to scream. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do, man? I'm getting bullied by Witch Enchanters. So if I had gone the other way, it wouldn't have worked out very well either. Yeah. I mean, this is super unfortunate. I cast Ancestral in this game on turn 1 and lost. Maybe I shouldn't have drained. I mean, they actually found another Clarion Conqueror. Sorry, another Cavern. I could have not drained for mana. I mean, I also could have Spell Pierced the Emerald. I just felt like Spell Piercing the Emerald wasn't that good. Gonna swap Pierces for Consigns. Misstep, Probe. Maybe Negations on the play. I think Endurance as a 3/4 reach is actually really strong. I want to play Collector Oof, but I just don't see a real way to play Collector Oof. On the draw, I might cut some of these artifacts, but on the play, I don't think I will. No, I don't think Drain is bad in this matchup on the play. On the draw, I'll probably trim some Drains. On the play, I think it's actually quite good, especially if you're hitting their mana on turn 1. Unfortunately, we got Cavern in that game, but if there was no Cavern, the game was an extremely easy win. Kind of unfortunate. Maybe I just take out the mana crypt anyways. I don't really want to take out. I think Griffin actually as like a 4 mana 3/3 flyer is actually good. So okay, I've been here before. Hope I draw lands. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think I have to hit this. It's really unfortunate, but I need to buy time here. Hopefully I don't have a second one. Ancient Tomb? Void Mirror turning off Emerald? Alright, well. If I hit a land, I think we're in a great spot. If I don't hit a land... No! God. I cast Ancestral. Alright, looks like we're dead. Damn, man. Yeah. Ah, that land already comes into play tapped. I think I'm bottoming a food chain. Archon means it's not even good for me to bounce the Void Mirror. Oh, what a blowout. Casting an Endurance on this board is quite good. If I could ever get to there, but that'd be a tap land. Probably just want to draw a land this turn and cast Time Walk if I'm allowed to. My Ancestral hitting this and then getting Void... Like, I think I'm supposed to always hit the Chrome Mox there, but it certainly did not pay off. All right, that's a good draw here. So I can time walk. Another land is good. Consign is not very good. They named Petty Theft. But I can flash in a 2/2 Juan or a Brazen Borrower, so it's not too bad. They're also at 10, 11 life. So I could try to play like a tempo game maybe if they tap again and I play a creature. They have to like make a bet if I have another island in my deck. I'm gonna trade, I think. Because this way, oh, they have a Swords to Plowshares. All right, I tried. That's the only spell they can play this turn, so no land. Forces turned off. I could consign the Void Mirror trigger, but I can't because Archon. My Wanchitong is still only a 2/2, and I don't have the mana for an Endurance. They know about my drain, so they should just cast nothing, but we'll see what they do. I think if they cast nothing, I have to cast Wanchitong. Cavern off the top. They had a cavern off the top. Oh my god. What did I do wrong, man? I'm being bullied by the magic gods. Just cavern off the top. Now they're gonna just name Wanchitong. But they didn't have a land drop last turn. They just drew it. This just basically negates my extra Wanchitong counters. Wow, someone smart must have told you that one, not me. Wanchitong is named. I drew another mana drain. All right, well, I still have to just cast this Wanchitong. Or so this is currently 2, so this at least blocks in the air. Draws me a card. Can't use a Snapcaster. Man, this was just so brutal. Like everything that happened in this match was so brutal. Really frustrating. I mean, I feel like I have to just block. Didn't draw any Unable to Screams either. I don't know. I feel like we just what a nightmare. I feel like on average we should be in a great place in that game, but maybe I shouldn't have countered the. I mean, I feel like in general the heuristic of counter the Chrome Mox is good there, but I could have let the Chrome Mox resolve. Man, it's so disappointing. I hate losing to mono white. It feels really bad. Feels like things had to go like perfectly correct. Yeah, target ancestral. I don't really have any outs to this, by the way. I'm at 1. Oh, that's a brutal match. Okay, round 3, Vintage Challenge. We're up against another one of the top Lurrus Breach players. Can't imagine putting this away. Not my most powerful hand, obviously, but I got a nice, beautiful looking set of fetches here. Another drain. We're both gonna sit here staring at each other with mana drains. I did play my last drain mirror pretty poorly. I felt like the match versus Luca, I could have played better. We got the win anyways, but... Not even holding open drain. These one of Urza sagas have been kicking my ass, though. They make drain look really silly. I mean, probably want to keep that. The problem is if my opponent never casts a spell, I'm never going to have the mana, right? Classic mana drain issue. This card is so easy to play around. You just don't play anything and you win. All right, I think I'm just going to try to get 1 mana here because my opponent's not going to cast any spells anyways. And drain me back and then use the drain mana to make a Saga token. Nope. All right, well, I got +1 mana, chat. Soul Guide Lantern, not making constructs. That's really good for me. That's so good for me. Damn, countering Gataxian Probe's kind of broken. Ooh, I could have Force back up here for my Food Chain or my Mist Hollow Griffin. I mean, I have Tropical Island Hedge Maze in play. I should play something. I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to play. I guess I can just play the Griffin. Those cast Ancient Grudge. Oh, shit. Wan Shi Tong means I don't have a combo after is the problem. But it's certainly not bad. Maybe I can play it a little bit slower. Keeping the Griffin means I have a good Force of Will pitch, so... I think I'm just going to play the Food Chain. Drain. Force. Force back. That's a pretty good reason not to do this play. Pretty lost now. I think we have to use our drain mana, though. So, I don't really... I think of the plays we could have made, this one makes the most sense to me. But we're probably just dead. I don't know. We just got put in a really, really bad spot by the one of Saga again. It's really frustrating, actually. Ooh, they ordered this incorrectly. I guess that means we're dead. Them not making any constructs is actually just worse for us than if they were making constructs. So... So this is get Lurrus, play, or they have gifts too. Okay, yeah. So they just had the perfect kill. That's pretty unfortunate. To be fair, if we had done nothing, we would still die, right? Like our opponent would just untap and we would still be dead. So I'm not really unhappy about going for this. But yeah, opponent's draw was much better than ours for sure. We are kind of we've kind of had a bit of an issue where our opponent has Saga and they have Academy, and it makes for really hard to like win the Drain Mirror because they just keep having the one Saga or they're ahead on mana because of the Academy. It's been a little unfortunate. What was I taking out here for? I was playing 2 Collector Roofs, I think, and I was taking out Unable to Scream and Brazen Borrower. Because all of our other cards are good. We also lost the die roll there, so we got behind. Like, if we had won the die roll, we might have been a little bit better off. But maybe my deck should have an Urza Saga in it. I feel like Urza Saga... Like, if I was doing anything powerful in my deck, the fact that my opponent played Urza Saga and didn't have Drain open is a huge liability, right? It's tough. Not sure, though. We just really did not have anything going for us in that game because of the tempo of the game. The fact that I probably have to drain the probe is also super bad, because if I don't drain the probe, but they have perfect information on how to play through our hand, and if I do drain the probe, that means I have one less drain and I only get 1 mana off of my drain. Pretty tough all around. Not sure. Just felt extremely pressured by what was happening. This is not bad, as long as I don't get Vexing Bobbled. Oh, they don't have that in on the draw. Soul Ring, huh? Soul Ring Petal. It's a bunch of stock ups. Oh, I kind of made a mistake here. I should have gone Tameo, then Lotus to help play around Mindbreak Trap. All right, I'm definitely not going to play a stock up into a trap here. Sometimes I forget that these decks have just like multiple main deck traps. Jesus, my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana on turn 2. No bad matchups. Bye, Lurrus. And a Braid Tameo. You got it. I don't really care about saving Tameo that much. Snap Ancestral is good, though. My opponent has double Drain open, though. But we know one card is Lurrus. Oh, boy. If it's anything other than Academy, I think we're okay. But the Academy is making this so bad for me, because what am I really doing from here? Like, waiting isn't actually helping me. So I guess it's just play a stock up and see what happens. If I get drained, then I can respond with a Snap Ancestral. That works. I can't respond with drain. Am I dead if I counter this? I can always find another force off the stock up. If I find a Moxen, I can play an Oof, which is reasonably strong here. It's probably worth. Found a Negation and a Spell Pierce and a Tameo. I don't think a Spell Pierce does anything. So I'm going to take Negation, Tameo. This does mean that they can play a Lurrus, but... Why did we choose to play this today? Because I felt like it? For fun? For content? So this is a Lurrus with buyback pedal. Not too big a deal at the moment, but if they find a breach that resolves or doesn't get negated is pretty bad. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. It's a sweet one. Kind of wish I had a strip mine in my deck. Another missed hologriffin. Not bad with my negation. Collector Ufa and Tameo, not exactly combination gaming here. What do I want to do? Pretty sure I want to cast Stock Up. I could just cast Oof. Have Drain open. Turns off all of this. Is that actually good? Kind of. But it kind of clogs up my mana too. Puts me in like a kind of a bad spot if they do cast the gifts. So maybe I should probably just activate my clue now, right? Try to hit a land drop. That makes me like a little bit weak to Flusterstorm. But I guess Flusterstorm is never really covering Drain anyways. So... Snap covers the Lurrus, which is kind of nice. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. There's the gifts. Drain this gifts. Hardcast Force. Act like I don't have anything and then get the negation off of it. It's for tilt value. Now I have 1,000,000 mana this turn. We did get rewarded. Probably just casting stock ups with this to pull infinitely far ahead. Force is probably game winning. There's a food chain. The food chain wins, right? Yeah. My opponent offered to tell me the win con, or tell me the win con to save the clicks. Very nice of them. Oh, I should reveal real hand. I don't have the win there because... No, I do have the win there because I have Petal, Sapphire, Time Walk. All right. That game, I definitely agree with Not Me that waiting was a big reward. My opponent went all in and we had it covered. They had tons of mana in that game, but we're low on action. I'm going to run it back like this. All right. I do think this matchup should be one of our better ones just because we kind of play a similar game plan to our opponent, but we have a little more versatility in how we play the game. That being said, opponent has a little bit more fast mana than us. And then, of course, the Saga is definitely a mirror breaker. Turn 1, Lotus, stock up. Not the scariest thing, but the opponent being able to reuse Lotus with their Lurrus Breach deck makes it not as bad. I don't really think that Oof is like that good against my opponent's deck. It's fine, but like, what cards do you want to take out? Like, all these other cards are fantastic against their deck. What matchup? There's Mishra's Workshop is in this format, so there are Raker Shops, Jewel Shops. I don't think this is like the best matchup for Oof or anything. I don't think having Oofs are bad, but I don't think it's a... Ooh, Undercity Sewers. The king would not approve. I approve, but my voice counts for nothing because I don't know anything. Probably not. Yeah, I mean, like, I think your analysis is correct for what it's worth. I do think oofs are good in this matchup, but to put a card in, I have to take a card out. So, like, what am I taking out? Like, am I trimming Tameo? I don't think so. It seems pretty good. Obviously, I trimmed the Unable to Scream, and I trimmed the Brazen Bar because they don't have very many targets. If you want to say, like, take out Mana Vault and play another oof, I'm pretty okay with that idea. But it's hard to cut any of the blue cards, really. Like, you could cut, like, I don't know. I guess you could cut Emerald Crypt and play more oofs, but then you're losing a little bit of velocity. It's tough. Not sure the answer. All right. So opponent started this game with Lotus stock up and then a tap land. 5 cards in their hand. Are they buying Lurrus? We don't actually currently have an answer to Lurrus. Another stock up, maybe? Nope, buy Lurrus. So if opponent plays Lurrus, I could respond with Endurance to put the pedal back in their deck. Might be worthwhile. They're going to pass. I think if they pass, then I'm just going to cast Brainstorm. If they want to drain Brainstorm, so be it. Okay, I'm going to put back both food chains and shuffle both away. Because that's not really how this game is going to go. I think that makes sense. Wait till the next turn, then fetch. Draw, looking for a force or something. Tameo is not bad. Tameo is very interesting. Because it makes me want to Ancestral now. But I don't think I'm going to. Oh, I guess getting rid of one of the food chains means I don't have pitch cast endurance. Shit. Dress down. That's fine. They're cantripping because they missed a land drop, right? Chain back the dress down. I think I just Ancestral now. I am running into Mindbreak Trap, though. Force Pitch Trap. We know one of their remaining cards is Lurrus. That just means they have no other blue card, right? Not that they have 2 traps. Oh, God. Force Pitch Trap? I really wish I hadn't... I really wish that I had kept a food chain for alternate cast and endurance. I mean, if they have 2 traps, what do I really lose? It's not that big a deal. All right, cool. Doesn't mean we don't flip our Tameo because Dress Down Trigger was still on the stack, but I'm not sure that's a bad problem here. Are they gonna play Lurrus now, I assume? So then there's a question of, do we negate Black Lotus? I think the answer is yes. Storm backup. Okay. 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. Can flip my Tamiya with Probe Clue. I'm gonna brainstorm left. Their hand is oh no, their hand is Underworld Breach, Stress Down a Braid. Let's see. I can put their whole yard away, but then they still have dress down stuff. So if I activate Clue, it baits the Abrade. The Lotus goes to the yard. I can Endurance their yard, leaving them with... They still have Dress Down Loop Breach. So it's still pretty bad. But it's probably what we have to do. Really depends. Because they once the Stress Down is sacrificed, they can play it back from their yard, so... Also, they have they also have Dress Down. I'm gonna activate this and try to get the Parade, I think. But isn't like getting the Lotus out of their yard like good? Oh my god, that's kind of a nut straw, isn't it? Oh wait, they just let the flip happen. Huh. I'm not sure I saw that coming. Can't flip with Wan Shi Tong because they could dress down if they wanted to. But then I guess I could have end-stepped Endurance it all away, so that would have been pretty good too. So do I just lose here? If they, I mean, they should have braided in response to the flip, not to the draw. I can't draw cards. I guess I just need to hold everything up and hope they don't go for something crazy. I think we're just dead. I get dressed down and then I die. I could have Mana Drain this whole fucking time. I guess Mana Drain is not very good against Lurrus here. Damn. What did I negate? I got flustered on a negation on Lotus. Damn. I mean, it's not deterministic, but they're gonna cast stock up here and win. I wonder if I played this game badly too. I tried really hard to get this Lotus completely exiled. Chain the Sapphire so he can sack lands and get more. Wait, both the stock ups are gone, so I assume that means we're dead. So we're already dead after one stock up? This is game 3. Damn. I don't know. We had a lot of permission in this game. Let's go back and look at it. Demonic. Just gonna dress down in response, right? They just let me draw? They just brain freeze us to death. Oh, they have brain freeze in response. I don't have a trap in my deck anyways, right? So I can't actually stop this. They have enough. They can do 39 on me on this next brain freeze, and I'll die to the Wan Chi Tong trigger. But like, oh, they just didn't. They decided not to do that. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't have anything anyways. Like, it's not like they can just like have anything afterwards here, and I can't win. So, I don't know. Maybe I like prioritize the wrong things. This whole game was like predicated on the fact that my opponent opened with Lotus, and they just had always had access to Lotus. Damn. Let's take a quick peek. Mostly interested in this game 3. That's fine. This is fine. They bought Lura. So, like, I could have just jammed Endurance right here on this turn 1. Like, that could have been better. Jamming Endurance here means that I'm, like, pretty close to food chain comboing as well. Yo, GG's. It was really good games. It just felt really bad. But, like, if I do it, like, just getting the Lotus back into the deck is quite powerful. I don't hate it. They missed a land drop. We brainstormed. I thought from here for sure we were going to win this game. I do regret putting back 2 food chains because it meant we couldn't pitch cast Endurance. But it felt so much worse having a food chain than having a Mist Hollow Griffin for like forces and stuff. This seems like fine. I don't really hate this play. Maybe playing Tameo is bad. I don't mind playing Tameo here. And then you went for second main dress down. We got to respond. We didn't respond, but then you went for chain on dress down, and then we responded. But if we had gotten trapped here, it would have been so bad. But we saw trap get pitched, so it's either you have no more blue cards or you had second trap in hand, probably. And it was no more blue cards. And I drew a negation. Played Lurrus. I went for negation on Lotus. But you didn't have a blue card last time, so you drew Flusterstorm for turn? Yeah. Ugh. Even here, like, it doesn't feel that bad. I led with Probe, right? Yeah. So it's Dress Down, Breach, a Braid, and what I really want more than anything is for you to use your Lotus for a Braid here. I guess if I had Endurance now, you would have had to use... Oh, no, it doesn't do anything because there's still a Lotus in play. Doesn't help at all. I mean, it does help. It means you have to build it all back up. Hmm. Was I supposed to just cast Endurance here? I mean, I'm definitely supposed to crack, right? Definitely supposed to crack. Lots of good things can happen from crack here. Dress Down, a Braid off of Lotus are all great for me. Second Tameo is not good for me. Second Tameo needed to be a counterspell. A counterspell is not even that good because you do have a Lurrus in play. I just don't have any options here if you don't go for a Braid or Dress Down. Yeah. Well, it doesn't cost Lotus. All I do is get rid of the 6 cards from their yard so that Breach is worse. But like they just, I mean, it buys me the turn, right? It probably buys me a turn. He drew Fetch for turn, so Fetch. Yeah, I mean, all my opponent does is they just Dress Down loop me instead, which I guess is better because it buys me time. So I guess I just have to play. Tameo beats Dress Down loop. Maybe because I do have Ancestral in my yard. So yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to play an Endurance, not to hit Lotus, but just get rid of cards from your yard. When would I do that? I would do that on end step so that you can't Dress Down until the next Dress Down turn, till the next end of turn. Yeah, that would buy me a turn, so I should have done that. That seems like it would have been a play that would have helped. So I can play Tameo number 2. So you can Dress Down out of your yard every turn with Lurrus and keep it in play during your opponent's entire turn so that they can't do anything. But yeah. So I should play Tameo and go to end step and make you... Oh, I guess if you Dress Down... Wait, don't I still die? Don't I still die? Don't I still just get Breach killed? Maybe not, because there's no mana. I mean, there's mana. There's Lotus. I think I still just die. This doesn't even buy me a turn because of Dress Down, right? If I end step here... No, he drew Fetch per turn. If I end step here... Well, Surveilland wasn't a problem in this game. I thought you played a Flooded Strand. You played a Flooded Strand. think you drew stock up off of stock up or something. You drew stock up off of dress. Oh, yeah, you drew stock off of dress down. The problem is if I go here on end step, right, you just crack dress down and then you play breach on the next turn and you just breach kill me anyway. So I don't think it's changed anything for me. It turns off your Lurrus ability, but like, I don't think that matters. The biggest problem in this entire game is this turn where I negate your Lotus and I get Flusterstormed off the top. This is the biggest problem in the whole game, but I don't think this was an incorrect play. What if I had a food chain instead of a Mist Hollow Griffin, but I still would have tried to negate the Lotus and not endurance the Lotus. So I mean negating Lotus here is really good. It's just I got Flusterstormed when we didn't think opponent had Flusterstorm. The play that I really am the most interested in is this one on this turn here. Tapped out, I could just play Endurance. 3 mana, Endurance away this Lotus. I still have the access to Brainstorm Fetch on the next turn. And if I do resolve Endurance, then I have a Food Chain lethal on the next turn. And if it gets countered, like, getting my Endurance forced is a pretty big game, right? The problem is this Brainstorm is just so much value. Like, this Brainstorm is nuts, right? It's really hard to say. I don't know. It was close. Like I said, I think we're actually okay if this negation resolves on Lotus, but the Fluster for turn screwed it all up. Don't know if I don't think we're supposed to be playing around top deck Fluster / Pyro here, so I guess they could have had Pyro the whole time because they didn't have a red source and it's not a blue card to pitch a force. So that's actually something to think about, is maybe Pyro here is enough to make you not want to negate this. Tough to say. All right. We're in round 4, and unfortunately, we are in the 1-2 bracket, also known as the Countervine bracket. We do have ley lines this time, unlike last night, but it's going to be tough. Our deck is not built to play against this, so we'll do our best. They powdered on 7, mold 6, powdered on 6, mold 5. Every squee just ruins all the content I want to make. Let me play with my dirtily nonsense deck, please. I'm just trying to make some content. All right, they powdered 5 and then kept 5. 3 wastelands are gone. Fury, a Vine, a Vigor in the main. No squeeze and no other cards. Masters are gone, so. No squeeze off that activation. There is a hollow one. That's not too bad. Pretty sure I just have to play stock up. I guess I'm just fetching. They only have 1 wasteland left in their deck. If this gets forced, it means they have 0 cards left in hand, which is not really a bad place for us to be, so I think it's fine. Borrower, Tamio, Wan Shitong, Fetch Land. This is a tough choice. Tough choice. Stock up. How many hits can I realistically take here? Get a Tamio in play this turn. And then a Wan Shi Tong flips it on the next turn. Oh, it doesn't flip it on the next turn. I feel like I need to get a creature going on the next turn. You don't like the idea of Petal Tamio? Like, flipping a Tamio in this matchup is really strong, isn't it? It's kind of hard to flip a Tamio. I mean, not sure we have enough time. We are one food chain away from winning, though. That's true. It's tough. If we take stock up, we probably don't want Tamio, though. So we probably have to play Wan Shi Tong if we take stock up. Seems reasonable. Opponent didn't have any root wallas, so the Tamio gets a lot worse. If this gets trapped, I think it's fine. I guess if I get Vigored, it's less fine, but it's still fine. No, I guess we just die to Vigor. Which won't have any mana. I guess holding the pedal means we have mana drain, which could be really good at getting a combo kill through. Another Mist Hollow Griffin is not great. Stonks. They have a Fading Pyromancer. 20th anniversary heirloom. There's the negation, pitching a Force of Will. Drain that. Oh, we get drain in the second main, though, sadly. So we won't actually have any way to use the drain mana, probably. But resolving our stock up is important. Wow, these cards... I guess Unable to Scream is pretty good here. I guess I'm just taking... Force. Unable to Scream. Taking another hit here. Wish I could buy Lurrus. Can't do anything with that drain mana. They didn't activate Bazaar, so they're keeping something that they want instead of doing a bunch of activations on end step. Unfortunately, we don't have another blue mana, so we can't play a Griffin or a Wan Shi Tong unless we draw a land. Which we did not draw a land. So we are going to die to our Mana Crypt here. Another no activate. Here's an upkeep. Main phase activate. Up to 5, down to 2. Got a Master of Death this time, though. So the squeeze are online. I've lost every crypt flip. Ancestral's great. Just trying to draw into a win here. I need to keep drawing. Oh, I'm not drawing the cards I need. I think we might just not find our food chain in time. It was a problem I thought about with Mana Crypt, but I think the power level of Mana Crypt is just so high in this deck that you have to take the risk and just try to win some coin flips along the way. Master, Squee, and a Vine in the yard. At least this Wan Shi Tong has Vigilance. Yep. 3 for 3 on coin flip losses, and I drew another Mist Hollow Griffin. Casting Wan Shi Tong doesn't exactly help me here, so I'm going to cast a Mist Hollow Griffin. It's also going to help against a Vengevine. And then we'll fetch a Hedge Maze and hope we win a flip. And then we have to hope we win another flip because maybe we can Besage-You it. Maybe we'll be able to Besage-You it. Also have 2 Vine attacks. We have to block with both. Then we're super mana problems. Surely we won't lose every mana crit flip and die. 2 Vengevines in the yard. Strip Mine. All right, Hedge Maze. Besage-You and Borrower are both opponents, so it has to be Otawara. Jesus. Oh, Hedge Maze saves us a dead draw here, so pretty broken Magic card if you ask me. All right, we need to win a coin flip. Or do we lose 5 in a row? We lost 5 coin flips in a row and died. Wow. Wow. All right. That's Magic sometimes. We almost scammed a game 1 against Squee, which would have been pretty nice. They did have main deck Vigors, which is interesting. Negations are definitely shit. Misstep is kind of shit. If I won all of my flips, I win with creatures? Maybe. They were starting to get squeezed going. But we could have made like a 5-5 and probably won. Just can't win a crypt flip to save my life. Probably want some number of unable to screams. Mana drain seems bad. I don't know that probe is bad. I feel like having a spell pierce is much more useful than having a mana drain. I don't know how many unable to screams I can really realistically play though. I mean, I could just play all unable to screams and no mana drains. I don't actually hate that. Need time. Leyline? I think this is bad. Our deck just is not suited to play this kind of game. Go mulligan. It's too hard. Opponent also mulligans. I'm gonna mulligan. Jesus. I think this is fine. Oh boy. My opponent mulliganed to 4, so that'll help. Oh man, why am I the only gamer who has to play against Hollowvine? Unfair. Or my decks just don't beat. Like I don't respect Hollowvine in deck building. It's impossible to win. It's just it's a one. You know, the at max 1 player plays it. Wan Shi Tong covers Rootwalla pretty well. Doesn't cover Hollow One. I spent 4 mana for a 3/3, and my opponent spent 0 mana for 6 power. Unlucky. Lost my 6 script flip in a row. Magic's too hard. Hedge maze, save me. Yeah, hedge maze saves me again. Pretty broken card. I need to draw stock up. I want a crypt flip. Hey. It's a good magic card. Oh, this deck is so broken. How does anyone ever beat Hollowvine? It's impossible. They just play 6 free power and then counter all of your spells. Two more root wallas. I lost another crypt flip. Fuck. So if I block here this time and I survive my crypt flip and I draw a food chain, I can win. Food chain? There's no. I own 0 decks that can beat Hollowvine CRK. I own actual factual 0 decks that beat Hollowvine. I can draw 1 for Ancestral into Lotus Time Walk or something. Tameo blocks? Fuck me. So close! So close! So close! Bro, Hollowvine is not losing to Scrawling Crawler. Stop with your garbage propaganda, bro. That's a free win. All right. Edge. All right, here we go. Round 5. If you are watching this on YouTube, you didn't get to watch me commentate over the end of a nice Sean versus Mogged Breach mirror, which was very interesting. Can always find that in the Twitch VODs. I don't get rid of any Twitch VODs, and they're all open to even non-subs. So if that interests you, that's there. Chat and I hung out. It was a good time. Oh, I like that too. Crazy. Scroll for Hardcast Trap to protect for Long Goodbye. I mean, I don't think he brings in Long Goodbye. I wouldn't bring in Long Goodbye, but you could bring in Long Goodbye. We also saw no Underground Sea after a fetch, so you're probably not worried about Long Goodbye, right? My opponent hit okay, and then didn't do anything else after. Don't know why. Maybe double Q? Not double Q. Maybe he's heating up some food. Yeah, I know you do, Joe, but I kind of disagree with the whole idea of it. I really dislike bringing in Long Goodbye versus cat decks with no other creatures. I don't think that's a good use of a slot. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith. So are we Raker or are we Jewel? We're Raker. Okay. I will force this pitching One Shitong. I definitely know he does YTF because I played versus him at EW and he did. I'm gonna get a Tameo down here and hopefully next turn be able to hold up Drain and not die. We'll see though. Opponent could just go Ancient Tomb One Ring and I'm in trouble. And then I have to look for a food chain kill. Trinisphere. Well, I got a little punished for not playing out my Mana Crypt, but not a huge punish. I was surprised to see a Trinisphere after a Flesh Raker. I really dislike Trinisphere in the Flesh Raker deck. But the good news here is that my Tameo will draw me clues and hopefully draw me to a third land. My opponent does have an active Mana Crypt as well, and an Ancient Tomb, so life total is relevant here. So One Ring, I assume. Oh, a Crawly. That's good. Crawler helps us draw lands. One of the problems with Crawler here for us is my deck does not have very much removal, so the Wan Shitong combo kill does not really work well through Crawler. I forgot to crack my clue token, sorry. I was talking to chat and I forgot. So -1 life for me here. That's my fault, obviously. So how do I want to play this out? One of the problems I was looking at in my deck is that I don't have... I think this deck might just have to play Orcish Bowmaster, which would be pretty sad. It would take a pretty complete reconfiguring. But Orcish Bowmaster answers a lot of the problematic cards. Like here, I really want... I feel like my opponent's going to play a spell. I'm just going to lose so much life because I just don't have very many answers, right? How many answers do I have? I have Odawara, Beseiju, and Unable to Scream. I think I'm going to try to drain something. I don't know if my opponent's going to play into it or not, but I'm kind of hoping they do. If my opponent plays a 0-drop that costs 3 mana with Trinisphere, I get 0 from the drain. True or false? I think it's 0. Because the spell's mana value doesn't change. It's just how much you have to pay to cast it change. I think I'm going to lose this game because I didn't play that Mana Crypt out. My opponent also 1-2 flips here. I mean, if I just play a big enough Wan Shitong, I probably race the crawler damage. So I'm just hoping my opponent plays a ring here or something. Perfect. All right, we might be able to race this. Oh, never mind. Why do they always come in pairs, man? Jesus. I feel like that means we're dead. Because I can make a Wan Shitong for 4. Maybe I should make it for 3 so that we draw 1 less card. If I make it for 3, we draw what? 1 card. We take 2. We go to 7. We take 2. We go to 5. We take 2. And it attacks twice. That might be enough, right? If I make it for 4, then... oh, is flipping Tameo good, though? I don't know. I think I want to chump block with Tameo. Flipping Tameo... I don't know if flipping Tameo is good. I think what I'm going to do is not crack, and I'm going to just play Wanshitong, x equals 3. Oh, x is 4. So I could do x is 5. Well, Wanshitong is already going to be perfect as a blocker. I don't think stock up into food chain is a like my food chain combo draws cards. So I'm pretty sure we need to win this game by attacking. So I think the answer is for 3, do a Wanshitong as a 4/4. Because they can't really attack, and I'll block with Tameo. I don't die to draw cards, right? I go to 7, I go to 5, I go to 3, I go to 1. Yeah, this is fine. No, that's not true. I go to 7, I go to 5, I go to 3, I go to 1, I die. Tameo does not flip if I draw 1 card. Shit. I think we might just have a lower... I think we need my opponent to lose 1 more crypt flip. I guess they could still lose on crypt flips to this. Weird. Weird game. Oh, you're right. I guess I could have not attacked. I could have done that. No, I needed to use my... No, I want to attack with it. I could have stocked up, though. Oh, yeah. Sorry, wrong tournament. I can still stock up into... I could still stock up into... Oh, what the fuck? I'm at 3? Oh, there were 2 crawler triggers. So... I'm going to need my opponent to lose a crypt flip. Oh. My opponent has 3 scrawling crawlers in their top 14. Okay, so we die. There was nothing I could do here. No, we're not dead on board because we draw 2. Oh, well, they flip the crypt. Oh, never mind. You're right. They don't get a crypt flip. Yeah, this was a little unfortunate. I don't know if it would have been better if I had played my mana crypt on turn 1. I just didn't expect to get transferred. Yeah, no, now I'm dead. But I was dead without the crawler as well because I would take 2 and then they would stack the mana crypt before the crawlers and I would still die. So this crawler didn't actually matter. So maybe I should have stocked up and that I actually drew the Beseju. So unfortunate. That's actually incredible here. Damn. If I had drawn the Beseju in this opposite order, I might have actually had a chance to win this game. Still dead, I think, though. So maybe I should have stocked up, but then I would have to fetch to Ambush Viper. It wouldn't have worked. Yeah. Unfortunate. The Trinisphere really did us in, sadly. Also, I lost 1 extra life because of I was talking in a chat. That was pretty bad, too. The good news here is we have 4 Collector Roofs, which the deck can't beat, and Dismembers, which help. Unable to Screams might be a little bit too much. We'll have to see. I don't know how much I like all of my cards are good, so I have a really hard time deciding what to take out. Maybe I just take out the full food chain combo. That might actually just be correct and just play blue-green control. How good is Spell Pierce versus Raker? It's like kind of medium. Juan? Yeah, Juan's been fine. I think I can take out, if I'm not food chaining, I can just take out the Mana Crypt. This feels like too much removal, but I'm not exactly sure. This is the kind of stuff you need to play some games with a deck first to see. Maybe like one extra of the legendary creatures is too much here, where our opponent's not killing our legendaries and we're not going to use our thing. I think we still want Emerald. Like, if we can play a turn 1 oof, it's even better, right? This looks fine. Yeah, it's a little sad to board out of our food chain combo, but with all of our sideboard cards being good against Raker, I think it just makes sense. I'm just going to Spell Pierce on turn 1. I guess the only thing that's like this hand is not very good against is it's not actually that good against like Workshop Crawler, but we did bring in a bunch of removal, so. Collector Oof Tameo is not a combination for those wondering at home, so that's another problem, but don't think it's a huge deal either. So I assume opponent will bring in, do you have Dismembers in the sideboard, I assume? Dismember will be their only answer to Oof. I assume there are still Dismembers in the Raker Shop sideboards. I'm not sure, though. Let me look at CRK list. Oh, wait, CRK is not playing the list everyone else is playing anymore. He had 1 Dismember, and the other list has 3 Dismembers. Yeah, that seems a lot better. I don't want to Spell Pierce this, though. But if my opponent plays a Raker, it's, like, really bad for me, right? I think I just have to Spell Pierce this based on what's going on in my hand. Even though I would want this to be in play. I don't really like this, but I'm not happy about this. If I had a consign, I'd let this Mana Crypt resolve for sure. Oh, is he gonna pay? That's fine. That's the best possible option, right? Like, I guess unless they play a Raker after. All right, well, okay. Classic CRK draw. We're just dead. This is why I wanted the Emerald for whoever was asking about the Emerald. My opponent has 4 restricted artifacts. All right, we're super dead here. That's pretty sad. They just, yeah, okay. Nothing we can do about that. Just dead on turn 1. This is actually a game where Vigor is good. I had to cut Vigor because we didn't have enough green cards, but. Yeah, it's just an average CRK draw. But we're dead on board, so. And there's Talon Gates phase out. Oof. Nothing we can do here. Sometimes opponent gets the top 1% draw and you die. So in the end, this didn't really work out very well. I don't think the deck is like terrible. It certainly can do the stuff you want it to do. It's just, I mean, we got run over by creature decks because our deck is not really, like, we got crushed by Mono White. We got crushed by Raker. We got crushed by Countervine. We're never ever beating Countervine for what it's worth. Like, we have to pray for a ley line and hope it's good enough. This is kind of the only thing we can realistically do. We're basically just never beating that deck. It's kind of, you just have to wash it off. We played a great 3-game set versus Breach and a great 2-game set versus Breach. Those games were really awesome. That's probably the spot where our deck is most likely to shine when we're playing up against other counter spell-based decks where we kind of are gaining a bit of an advantage by having a turn 1 threat, by being able to draw cards every turn, by having Drain, by having easily pitchable cards to force that still combo. I think our deck actually plays really well against the blue decks of the format, but we didn't get up to enough of a lead early in this tournament to get away from the non-blue decks, and we just ended up getting pummeled over and over again. I wouldn't say like the Raker matchup should be terrible, but I didn't play that first game exactly right. I think I was supposed to play the Mana Crypt, and I just really got blindsided by a turn 2 Trinisphere. which made me a little bit too far behind to come back from. Also, the compiling crawlers, that card is a lot better when you can have a second one and a third one. And we actually played against, in the last 2 days, we played against multiple people who had 3 crawlers in their top 10. So sometimes that happens. Yeah. I mean, like an opponent has 5 restricted cards in their opening hand. It doesn't really matter which deck they choose to play. It's going to usually end up in a win. So nothing you can really do about that. You just have to brush it off and move forward. I will say that I'm not 100% convinced that this is the right configuration for the sideboard, but I think I correctly identified that our deck was not very good against creatures, so having the full set of creature removal was good, but maybe there needs to be even more creature removal in the main. It's just really hard to fit that kind of stuff if you want to still be able to play against the other decks in the format. I will say that in general, besides the fact that the Wan Shi Tong food chain combo was not very clickable, like physically achievable online, the combo itself looked pretty good. And if you played it in paper, it might be reasonable. That being said, the fact that your win condition is draw is a problem. We didn't play against any Bowmasters today, but between like Bowmaster, Crawler, Hull Breacher, and those type of cards, having your win condition be a card that actually does say draw on it is not ideal. And you probably need, like, I put in a lot of ways to answer between Boseiju, and Boseiju and Ottawa are uncounterable ways to answer. So I think like this was quite good deck building. But you could play another Brazen Borrower for petty theft. You could play Dismembers in the main. You could play Bowmasters are something to think about. They play pretty well with Mana Drain and Wan Shi Tong. But adding an additional color has been problematic in the past. I played a Wan Shi Tong Bowmaster Mana Drain deck that was pretty reasonable as well. And that one got to play Lurrus though. So always a payoff. But I wasn't actually unhappy with the Food Chain Griffins. So just different things to think about. Thanks for watching. Always going to explore with new and innovative decks in this channel, even if it's a hit to my own win rate in ELO. I don't think that matters much in the grand scheme of things. I'd much rather try to bring you new and innovative vintage decks and content here on this YouTube channel, where you'll find new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.